guys, I'm back with another video, and this time I thought I would talk about my planning binder, what went well, what didn't go well on our last trip, and what I'm doing for next time. Now, if you didn't see my video of the planning binder initially, go back and watch that one first. It might make a little bit more sense. This is what it looked like, and when I made this, I knew that I was going to have another one. I mean, I just kind of threw this together. It was supposed to be cheap. You can really do it with whatever you have. You don't even need a binder. You could put your stuff in a folder really if you wanted to. And actually, a lot of people probably don't even bring anything. A lot of people I know are paperless. My husband really likes to have things on his phone, and that just doesn't work for me. I need to have things on paper. I get very nervous if I don't have copies of confirmations and things like that on paper. I just worry, what if I don't have an internet connection on my phone? What if the battery dies? That kind of thing. So I really felt more comfortable having it in the binder. So now what I had in my last one, I had a tab for flight info, hotel info, schedules, dining, mousekeeping, FastPass Plus, receipts, special event info, and miscellaneous. So what I decided to do with the next one, and here I'll show you, I had this custom made on Zazzle. It's one of their Disney binders. What in God's name? I had this custom made on Zazzle. It's one of their Disney binders. You can put, if you want to have your name on here or whatever. I just wrote here, WDW, obviously Walt Disney World Trip. I tried putting the word Disney and they wouldn't let me, just I'm sure because of copyright infringement. But on the inside, I added my own tabs and things, which I will show you in a bit. So this one is a little less homemade than the last one. So what I decided to do now moving forward with this one, I combined flight and hotel info. It really wasn't necessary to have two separate tabs, even when we were staying at two different resorts. I mean, it's like two pieces of paper, there's no reason for that. So I combined flight and hotel info into one. And that, I would say, I utilized the least. I don't know. I mean, the flight info more so than the hotel info, but I don't know that I even use that, to be honest. But like I said, I really just like having that on hand, on paper. And then the next tab, schedules. And I decided to do the same thing, and I kept my schedule from November to show you what I did. So this is the calendar that we'll send out to you if you book a trip through Magical Journeys. We'll send out the park calendar. And I just kind of went through and I outlined the days that we would be there, the days of our trip, and then I highlighted the morning park to visit with extra magic hours, morning park to visit without extra magic hours, and then evening park to visit. We don't participate in the evening extra magic hours because we're not really late. We don't really like to stay up that late because we like to take advantage of the early morning extra magic hours. So for us, it really isn't worth it. In the beginning portion of the evening extra magic hours, we've found it to be crowded, and then it thins out as the night goes on, and it becomes more and more worth it. Since we're not going to stay up late, it isn't worth it for us. So we try to avoid the parks with evening extra magic hours. And then we do take advantage of the morning extra magic hours. So I like to highlight those. So that's what I did last time, and I decided to do that again moving forward. So far, I have our calendar. I just highlighted the days we're going to be there. Outlined the days we're going to be there. And then I just highlighted the morning park to visit with extra magic hours. Because like I said, we always take advantage of the morning extra magic hours. We don't know what park we're going to visit in the evenings yet. We haven't discussed that or decided that. So that portion is not done yet. But that will have the park schedule. And I'm also going to have a copy of something similar to this. This is what I had done last time. I have it just listed out in a different format that's easier for me to read. I listed the park with the morning extra magic hours, then where our lunch reservation is, where the evening extra magic hours are, just like I said, I listed which park has the evening extra magic hours just to point out which parks to avoid just for us for that day. And then I have a section for other park hours, which I never even put anything in there. And I have a section for dinner, normally we have lunch reservations, and then we are staying club level. So they have like appetizers and things like that for the evening. So we don't typically have a full sit-down evening meal in addition to what we get as part of being club level. So we're staying, I don't know if I mentioned it, we're staying at the Wilderness Lodge. Again, we really loved it last time, and we were staying there for the entire stay this time. We're going in August, and we're very excited. So anyway, strange tangent. So I have evening extra magic hours, dinner, other park hours, and then I have the park hours listed each day for Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. I also wrote the confirmation numbers on here of our dining reservations, just because I realized I hadn't written them down on anything like this. I'm not going to do that this next time. I'll have a separate section for that, but I'll tell you about that in a bit. But anyway, that's going to go in my schedule section as well. And then I have a section for dining reservations. So what I did last time, I had listed them like this. It says the day, the time, the park, the restaurant, and the number of guests. The reason it says the number of guests is because last time we were traveling with my family, and sometimes my husband and I would have a reservation alone. Sometimes all 6 of us would go, and then sometimes because we couldn't get a table for 6, we'd have to have 2 groups of 3. So that's why I listed that out in that way. But like I said, I didn't have any confirmation numbers on here, which is why I hand wrote them on this schedule. So I will do something a little bit differently moving forward. So this time what I'm doing for the dining reservations, I wrote it all out. I typed it all out. It's all listed here. I have the day, the time, the park and resort, the restaurant, and then the confirmation number. So, for example, Sunday at 12:15, we're going to Sanaa, and I'd never been there before, and I know it's at Animal Kingdom Lodge. I'm aware of that, but I did write down Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village, and then I wrote a confirmation number. The reason I wrote it out this way is because I thought it would be easier if I'm just trying to look at something at a glance to make sure. Sometimes they change their park hours last minute, and or add additional extra magic hours, that kind of thing. So if I want to look when we're there, okay, where do we have a reservation tomorrow? I don't need to know the name of the restaurant necessarily. I just might want to look at the park or resort, that kind of thing. So just depending on what you want to look at. This is what I'm doing for my dining reservations. And like I said, I will be adding that to my schedule that I'll be typing out. That looks like this. And then I have a section for FastPass Plus reservations. I've not done that yet because it's not 60 days until our trip. So I will just show you what we did last time. And I have the day, the park, the arrival window. You can even see this. The day, the park, the arrival window, and then the ride. So Saturday, November 8th, Hollywood Studios. The arrival window was 9:05 to 10:05 a.m., and then it was Toy Story. And I have the number of guests behind it, which is 2, because at that time it was just my husband and I. And again, with my family there, some of the Fast Passes were for just 2 of us, and some of them were for 6, depending on when they had arrived. So this is how I did the Fast Pass, just to list it out, the Fast Pass schedule. This isn't really necessary for some people. You can see all of this information on your phone. What I like about this is I like to be able to see everything on one page at one time at a glance without having to flip screens on my phone. And like I said, paper just works better for me, and I want to see it all at once. So if I want to see, okay, I have Fast Pass reservations here for Hollywood Studios 2 times, Magic Kingdom 2 times, Epcot 2 times, and Animal Kingdom once. So it helps me to look at it this way to try and make sure things are balanced so that I don't end up having all my FastPass reservations at 1 or 2 parks. So this worked out really well. I think I'm going to do this again for this coming trip. Then I have a miscellaneous section, which I was debating if I wanted to put it in. I think I'm going to keep it in here because we are hoping to take a day trip to Universal, and I can put If we buy our tickets ahead of time, I can put that in here, and I don't know, I guess miscellaneous things. If I have some Magical Express stuff, I would put that under flight and hotel info just because that makes the most sense. And then last, I have a mousekeeping tab. And what I did last time, I had the plastic sheet protectors and I had my mousekeeping envelopes in there. It worked okay, but because the binder isn't always standing up straight, they kind of got shuffled around, and they started falling out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just because those pouches are so slippery. So I think what I'm going to do this time is I'm either going to, these are just my extra tabs back here, I'm going to take them out. I think I'm either just going to tuck them in this back pocket, or if I can find them, I believe they have zippered 3-ring pouches. So like a flat folder, but it just has a zippered edge either on the side or top, I don't care which one. And then I can put them in there and I don't care. I mean, they don't have to stay in a particular order, that would be fine. But I think I'm gonna do that. These tabs, if you're interested, they look like this. There's the yellow one and orange one. This white part comes out, that's the label. And then you can type on it or write on it. And here, I'll show you one that I did here. So it says miscellaneous, and then the back it says the same thing on the back. I liked these because they slip in through the bottom. I cannot stand when you have your tabs in your binder like this and they slide out. Drives me nuts. So I really liked these. These are just, they were cheap. They were like just a couple of dollars. But in case you're interested, they're the Style Edge Insertable Plastic Dividers by Avery. There's 8 tabs. Looks like that. This was fun though, I have to say. I was able to go on the Avery website and you can obviously customize how you're typing your tabs out. And there's so much fun stuff, changing the font and the colors and adding graphics and stuff, which I didn't add graphics, I just left it plain, but it was a lot of fun. So if you're kind of a nerd like me, like that, and obsessed with planning and things like that, you might have a good time with it. So that's what I am going to do with my new binder moving forward. Like I said, I knew when I made my old one that I wasn't going to just keep that one forever for that purpose. I mean, I'll save the binder, but I knew I wanted to actually have one made like this. But this is just kind of to show that you don't have to have a fancy binder made. You know, I made all of this stuff myself except for the binder. You know, the dividers, I made all of that myself, and it worked out really, really well. I'll say what I used the most was the schedules tab, definitely. I used that a lot because I kept misplacing the park schedule that they gave us in the hotel, and I didn't know, because it's like they fold it so it's like a third piece of paper, you know, once it's folded, and I don't know what I was doing with it. I kept losing it. So I kept going back to the binder, and that was really, really great. But a tip about that, you really want to make sure that the park hours haven't changed so that you're not looking at your binder, looking at the wrong hours. I knew mine were correct because I checked just when, either right before we left or right when we got there. The section I had for dining, didn't use it. I really didn't use it a whole lot. Like I said, I had that dining schedule, but I would just put that under schedules this time. There's only one sheet of paper. I didn't have a reason to have it other than that. But something I just thought of that I would like to use in the miscellaneous section perhaps is on previous trips, what I've done is I've gone on Intercot and I had asked people what their favorite things to eat are in Disney World. And I had tons of suggestions. So I wrote them all down. And then when we would go to a park that day, I would check my list before we left to see what things I wanted to try in those parks that people just raved about. So that'd be a good thing to put in the miscellaneous section too. And that might be fun for me to try again because I haven't done that for a couple years. I want to say the last time was probably 5 years ago when I first tried the school bread in Norway, which is amazing. It's like my favorite thing ever. So that's my planning binder, my old one and my new one. And I hope you found this helpful and enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.